What's up, guys? Wanted to do a little review on the Megamouth. I got this Megamouth this spring, and I did something, well, probably 3 months ago. I've been shooting it for about that long now, and I didn't want to do an unboxing right away. Everybody was doing that. I wanted to use it and let you know what I thought of it. But I did something that I wouldn't normally do, which was when I got this, it was the night of a tournament, and I actually took off my setup in the boat and I put this thing on because I was excited to use it. And I will tell you this, it is fantastic. I am super impressed with this reel setup. And I know a lot of you guys are like, man, 300 bucks for a bow or for a reel setup. You know, here's the thing, I look at it like, this is what I do, and if I was a bass fisherman or a walleye fisherman, really would you hesitate to spend 300 bucks on a reel rod setup? And this is what could be the difference between you and a trophy of some sort when you're out there on the water. So I'm going to tell you what I like about it. I'm going to tell you a couple things I don't like about it, and then I'm going to just do a little bit of comparison between different iterations. So first of all, the construction of it is beefy, and you know, the outer shell is plastic, but it seems to still be built really well. Big open mouth, obviously, Megamouth, that's where the name comes from. So simple, you know, reel that thing in, and always on free spool. Now, one of the things I noticed, you know, I had the RPM M1X before this, and that reel, if you're on free spool and you have no tension on it, when you go to reel back in and you pull the tab in the back to engage it, it's not necessarily going to engage right away. So unless you have a little tension on it, this one, no matter what, you've got a reel on there. You know, that line is coming back in. So I've been really impressed with that. However, it completely engages inside there. I haven't taken it apart inside there yet. I've been using it like it is. Other thing, by far the best drag, hands down, of any reel I've ever used. I mean, this thing, the reel setup on the top, or their drag system, easy to adjust back and forth right on top here. And man, it pulls. I mean, I've been stuck in some stuff and grabbed this handle and pulled on it, and I've gotten it out, you know. So the setup on the bottom, the reel seat that comes with it that it's on, I think it's designed well, with a couple exceptions. First of all, on this part right here, you get these three Picatinny rails on the bottom. I'm gonna tell you what, the first thing you do when you get this is you take these off and then you do this. You just throw them away, because I know there's probably some guys out there, and that's a little extreme, that are gonna mount something, but the more crap on the bottom of your setup, the more you're gonna get your string hung up on it. And one of the things I happen to have had happen the first night was I got my string looped behind one of those rails and I lost an arrow. Happened once, and that's when I took them off. I said, I'm done with this. That's it. So the other thing that I would criticize on this reel, if there was anything else, or not the reel, but actually the rod setup, is the way that this rod comes out, and this, you know, this big knob. I have had this rod fall off multiple times on me, and luckily it's gone either in the fish barrel or it's gone down my line, because your line goes through there. But I just don't like this. It feeds well, you know, it shoots, but this big knob on the bottom of here, now I tighten this thing down pretty good, and there is a spot for an Allen wrench in the bottom, and maybe some Loctite would keep it from doing that. But again, look at how far down this hangs. You know, this hangs down here, another spot to get looped around and just have a problem with. I haven't done it because I've got other plans for this, but I would put a set screw in here or something that you didn't have the ability to take this off. Because realistically, I don't know why the intention is for you to be able to, you know, adjust this. Am I going to shoot it way out here? I don't know. I'm going to shoot it like they sent it to me, which is right like that, you know. So again, overall, another thing I'll comment on is I don't know what the string is that they put on here, but this stuff is pretty amazing too. I mean, you guys know I've been a fan of monkey wire for years now, and this this string I have purposely let fray and shot for multiple times, and I have not busted it yet. The only thing that's busted this is I've had gar wrap up in it, and I had to cut it. So, really impressed with that. Overall design, really impressed with it. I think it. I don't know for sure what the gear ratio is, but I will say, I think this is one of the fastest reeling in rods, reels that I've ever had. Because man, you're right on it. You pull that and reel it back in. So that's just a quick review of what I think. I'm super excited about owning this and continuing to use it. I think, you know, Muzzy did their first, they came out with the first open, you know, you don't have to always push the button. I went to something that, with the flippers, switched all my reels over to the flippers because, not because I can't remember to push the button, but because eventually you'll click it and you go to shoot that fish and you're engaged, and that's a problem, you know. So I switched to that. I was super excited about using the RPM M1X reel when it came out, and I used it for a while, and I gotta say I've had a few issues with it. I did a unboxing review of this when I first got it, and overall it's been good, but no comparison on the drag between these two. This drag is just not even half the drag that this thing has. The other problem I've had, and I know a couple other people personally, this nut has worked loose on the back of here, and that has allowed this to fall off, and you can lose your guts and stuff. Now, RPM was good. They sent me all the parts I needed, no cost, you know, and I Loctite it. I haven't had that issue since then. Handles, I haven't had any issues, but I personally know a few people that have had their handles break on them. So I'm not here to rip this reel. I think it's a good design. It's obviously a quarter of the cost of one of these. So for a guy looking for that, you know, just for the same kind of functionality, I think this is a good opportunity to it. But I will say that the Mega Mouth is by far, at this point, the best reel I've ever used. And I don't take that lightly because I've used Muzzies for years. I'll continue to have them in my boat. But man, I really, really like this reel. So if you're gonna try it out, good luck. Let me know what you think, because for me so far, it's been a great reel, and I'm excited to continue using it. So.